Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the most electrifying podcast in sports entertainment. Welcome to the Under the Ring podcast. It's me, your boy, the Silverback Outsider, hailing to you today from the BX. Joining me, as usual, the man behind the boards. Show your face for a second, punk. I don't give a damn what you look like. The producer, the man who puts the show together, there he is, Mr. Wheezy, Mr. O2 himself. Give it up for Mongo.
What's up?
That's your best Eric Young impression right there.
What's going on, everybody? We got a fun little show to do today.
Yeah.
Thanks to our volunteers here.
What you call it? This is going to be very interesting. How I'm going
I got volunteered, basically. Yeah.
I mean, it happens. Joining us from Louisville, Kentucky, he is still our reigning, defending, undisputed predictions champion. Give it up for Matty Reigns. Ain't nobody acknowledging shit.
You're gonna acknowledge me. You're there, sit in that room. Acknowledge me.
Yeah. Not gonna do it. Not gonna say shit.
What you mean? Ain't nobody saying shit. Ain't nobody saying shit. All right.
They thought y'all was gonna win. Y'all thought y'all was gonna win again, and I still walking around here with 2 belts. I'm still undisputed.
One fucking match.
I don't care.
One match. Yo, I was right there from taking my belt back in one match.
You're gonna have to get it at WrestleMania Backlash.
Oh, I'm taking that shit.
Get it at WrestleMania Backlash.
Don't worry about it. You should, since you a fighting champion, you should put it up tonight between who's gonna win with Moose and Josh Alexander. Since you a fighting champ. Since you were fighting.
No. I don't think he's that stupid, Kenny. I really don't think he's that dumb.
I'm saying it was worth a try. It was worth a try. Yo, let's get into a little bit of wrestling news. Was there too much wrestling news going on this week? You know what? Something did happen that I do want to talk.
Really, but
something did happen that I do want to talk about. Yesterday, for anyone who watched AEW, we got a chance to see FTR versus FTR. If you did not get a chance to watch that Wheeler versus Hardwood match, you really should. You really should. Those two gentlemen, yes, they are probably the best tag team combination out there. But as far as singles wrestlers, each one of them, if at any point they decide to go a singles career, each one of them will have a extremely successful singles career. Extremely successful. That match last night, I'm definitely putting up there with one of my best for the year so far. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And guess what? There was no blood. There was no dirtiness. It was a good ass match. If you get a chance, folks, please go back and see that shit. Go back and see that shit.
Every now and then we do get these, like, not breakups, but like, what would these guys be? How would they do if we put them against each other? You know, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Like the Hardys never really figured it out too well. But I thought they were going to work together pretty well as competitors, and they did. It was kind of like seeing Rick and Arn back in the day.
Yeah, when they would go at each other. That's, you know what though? That's exactly what they model themselves after. They model themselves after, the Four Horsemen, the Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation. They model themselves after old school
Actually,
wrestling
they did a spot from Owen and Brett from Mania.
with the reversal off the top.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like the arm wrench, like I think Dax had Cash had Dax on the ground and it's holding him by the arm, and he kind of rubbed his foot on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Dax was like, "What the motherfucker?" And that's like the exact same thing that Owen and Brett did when they opened the match in Mania.
Well, what you call it? If you paid attention, the back of their trunks had the Hart Foundation symbol on it.
Mm-hmm.
The back of their trunks had the Hart Foundation symbol.
Those boys love Bret Hart.
Yes. And speaking of Bret Hart, my newfound friend, my newfound friend,
Fuck Goldberg.
Bret.
Shout out to Bret Hart. Fuck Goldberg. Give us a listen, Bret.
Goldberg.
We know you out there. Fuck Goldberg.
And you know what, Bret? I fucks with you because you fuck with this team right here too. Your wife looks like me, and you like to fuck with the other shit I fuck with. Bret, you invited to the cookout, Bret. You invited to the cookout. I'm inviting you. You're my personal guest. But
Instead of that,
speaking of,
he's Bret the Black Man Hart. Bret the Black Man
facts. It appears that it is still up in the air if Bret will make any type of appearance in AEW during this Owen Hart tournament because technically he's still under a contract with WWE.
That is not happening. Ain't no way.
Technically, he still has somewhat of a contract with WWE that may prohibit him from.
Actually, okay.
You said Bret still has a contract?
Yeah, Bret still has somewhat of a.
He showed up at Double or Nothing when I went that one time.
It was rumored that WWE was trying to get FTR back again.
Mm-hmm.
Which we all kind of figured was going to happen.
They're going to use Bret.
Well, a good way to get on their good side. Let Bret be a part of this brief little thing.
Mm-hmm. That would help. That would help. Speaking of AEW and things that they need help with, Mongo, you brought this to our attention. Warner Brothers Discovery is cutting all scripted programming from TBS and TNT. As of right now, AEW has no idea what that means for them.
I would assume this is a good thing
to
them because I think it means no set stuff, no
basically no friends,
live or competitions or whatever, like they're doing
you beat me to it. I was about to say Wipeout. Y'all killing people, John Cena.
Right, you won't get none of that.
Cooks now, like the kitchen or whatever.
Or if that means maybe the Go Big Show is dead.
Yeah, the Go Big Show is dead. So they need another slot to fill. Hey, maybe AEW gets another show on TV.
Hey, maybe how about you know what? I'm not even gonna say it because I have to use it for my argument later. So I can't even say what I really want to say because I gotta be a lawyer.
Give AEW another hour that they can take off of YouTube, please.
That would make a whole lot of sense. Make Dynamite 3 hours. Or make Rampage
2
earlier.
And make it 2 hours. If they big and bad, if AEW is so big and bad, and y'all talk all this shit, how about y'all turn y'all's asses on at 9 o'clock, compete against SmackDown Fridays from 9 to 11. Do that overlap. Make us pick.
That would be some shit. I'm not gonna lie. That would be some shit. I got a question though. Since both of you guys are real big Impact fans, and I'm looking at Impact as we talk, when the fuck did Iwa's voice get like that?
Iwa's voice has been like that since the beginning.
But the thing about it is, when he was on the Discovery Channel show, when he was the Wild Man in the Woods, it wasn't that bad.
He used to
I
never
feel
talk all like that.
it wasn't that bad. I feel like after that episode where his ass was in the tub going down the river, he
That's
came
what
back.
everyone knows. Yeah.
He came back as a whole different. I'm going to the gang. Like,
I think he told Renee Young that he had like something on his throat that they like had to like remove.
He has
I have to look it up.
polyps.
I
He
think
has like polyps that
polyps.
constantly
Oh,
grow on his
oh,
vocal
okay.
cord.
That like constantly grow, so it's like mess his voice up.
Yeah.
So like back in the day, like
they scrape them off, but it's pointless to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like back in the day, he sounded like this, just like a little bit less. You could understand him without subtitles, but he was always like gravelly. That was his voice, even when he was young.
But
So I think like we were just so used to it, like we naturally saw the progression of going from like this young athletic Canadian dude to like the woman that smokes 5 packs a day outside of a Piggly Wiggly.
That's where I saw him when he was the young Canadian dude. I saw him when he became the buff wilderness dude. And then the next thing I know, he's over here speaking like Juno from Beetlejuice. Okay, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to EY? Like, where did his eyebrows go? Like, that's something I want to know too. Where did those go?
Look, that man used to have hair, eyebrows, a beard, a mask to cover the hair and the beard.
And now he's out here looking like a meth addict powder. That's what he's out here looking like right now.
He's lucky he's in shape, because if you look like me, he look like a thumb. But
but
he's doing good for himself.
Going back to this thing with AW and TBS and TNT, with them getting rid of the scripted programs, that has to mean there's more TV time for them, right? That has to mean there's more TV time for AEW.
That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like, hey, you got any ideas for any other shows you want to do? Maybe what do BTE is like a 30-minute thing, whatever. They'll find things to get on TV. What that means for Dark and Elevation, if they do it, I don't know.
It should. It should. All right, let's hop over to the other company real quick. It appears that it has been made official. The Stand and Deliver match that Gunta and LA Knight had was LA Knight's official send-off to the main roster. He is officially a part of the main roster now, and he is doing that modeling stable with Face and Mansoor.
Okay. All right.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, because the one thing I did say was LA Knight can fucking talk. And these two people that they are pairing with him need someone who can talk.
Yeah, Mace or Face or Dio, whatever you want to call him. I've seen him do this gimmick before on an NXT house show. He can pull off the like fancy dress douche, but he can do it. But yeah, he needs someone to talk. LA Knight works. Mansoor is incredible
In the ring, he is.
He has like no charisma. So, yeah, this is a good idea. Honestly, I hate it because I think he'd be a pretty good like mid card champion, fighting champion. But whatever.
I like this role for him. I like this role for him because you know how I felt about him. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked him if he came up as a goddamn wrestler. Being a wrestling manager, I can deal with.
It hurts me and Justin a little bit. I don't know about Matt, but it hurts me and Justin a pretty good bit. But it's probably for the best. Like if you're gonna focus on like using what got people to the dance, for LA Knight it was him talking.
Mouth.
It was his voice.
What do you think about the fact that they've turned Barthel into into a mouthpiece for Gunther instead of really having him. Now that one disappoints me.
That's supposed to be because I really like him and Eichner together.
Yes,
Like Barthel isn't like the crazy high flyer that Eichner is, but Barthel can go very well.
they paired off each other very well with that because
Eichner was like
contrary
the
to
high flying strong man.
right, because contrary to what they look like, they actually fought the opposite of what they look like. Like Barthel was I'm gonna put you in a grappling move and fucking hurt you while you're in this grappling move. While Eichner was like, check this out. I'm gonna body slam you, but I'm gonna do a 360 off the top rope while I do this body slam first. So they complimented each other. So I don't like him as Gunther's wingman like
I
that.
don't either. I don't know why they didn't bring Eichner up. I don't mean because like when that didn't happen at like the same night we saw like Tony D'Angelo enlist help or whatever. We're like, okay, he's gonna Italian. Okay, that's where he's gonna go with Tony D. And then that didn't happen. It just didn't happen. So like, well, what the hell? What are you doing with him? Like, what did you not have a plan? You just did it without thinking, and then that leads me to that story that broke today about Ember Moon,
Which we
So-
can't get too much into because I'm going to be using that
yeah.
later on. Thank you, Ember, for the emo.
Yeah.
But we can briefly
story
talk
short.
about it.
Well, so let's look over. She goes to the main roster after NXT. Didn't really work out, injuries, other things. She comes back down. They get this whole vignette done for her, like this 2-month long. Oh, who's coming back to NXT? Oh, who is it? And it's like this weird high tech security footage stuff. And it's this huge deal, and then it ends up being Ember Moon. And like, all right, she'll be going for the championship real quick, and then it just didn't really happen. And then she got put with the tag team with
Shotzi,
and she didn't really want to do tag team stuff. She never really understood tag team wrestling that well, she has said. But they made it work because they're two psychos. They made it work. They're crazy.
right?
Winning the tag titles twice, just once.
I think once.
And then they were really doing a lot. They were selling a ton of merch. People loved them. And then out of nowhere, Shotzi's called up by herself. Well, not by herself. She's caught up with Tegan Knox.
I was about to say she's called up to do a tag team with another girl who stayed injured.
Then Ember disappears from TV. And then 4 months later, she's gone. And it looked like the second she got to NXT, they did not know what they were doing. And turns out that's exactly what happened. According to her, and an interview that came out today, once she got down to NXT, they told her about the tag team. She wasn't really okay with it, but she trusted the process, essentially. And it worked out. And she said that they were selling a ton of merch. Everything's going great. She got lots of tips from Triple H. And then out of nowhere, they get the call that Shotzi's being called up, but she's not. And then Triple H.
She asked Triple H what's going on, and he said, "I have no fucking clue. We're gonna figure this shit out together.
We're gonna do it together." And so then she started working on a new heel character with Trips that they're gonna be debuting soon. And then Trips disappears, has his health crisis, no longer involved. And then on 3 more occasions, she is told, "Oh, we're gonna do this soon. It's gonna be you. Do this. Get ready." One time they even tell her to re-dye her hair from when she first debuted. They're going to bring back the old Ember Moon. And then she dyes her hair, and then she's let go.
I got a question. Do you think there's a 2.0 if Trips didn't have the health scare?
No. I think he would reload a little bit and kind of we're going to go back to basics. But it would not have been this severe of a change. It was a lot, man. It was. I mean, just the
They debuted.
reasons they did what they did changed the like their whole message changed.
Like you were asleep when it happened.
That's why I keep saying like I didn't get to lose black and gold. I just like woke up with something different. And you tell me it was the same with us.
It really was, because literally, like when Matt hops back on, he'll tell you they debuted literally half the roster. Actually, they debuted the entire new roster in 2 episodes. Like literally, joining us, ladies and gentlemen, from Cincinnati, Ohio, he is Mr. Freshbeard, my brother, the good stoner, Mike who? Mike Jones. Mike, right now we're talking about how 2.0 just kind of bust us in the face without no kind of warning. We literally had half the roster debut 1 week, Mongo, and then literally the next half debut the next week. And all the matches within those 2 weeks were a new guy versus a vet, new guy versus a vet, new guy versus a vet, new team versus vet team, new team versus vet team, new woman versus a vet woman. That's how they debuted the entire new roster in 2 weeks. Next thing we know, shit is bright. It was no, this is going to be the final black and gold, or them giving us like a super show before they end. Like even if they don't say this is the final show, they're giving us something to feel like it was a final show. Nah, we had LA Knight talk shit to these new guys. The next week, shit was tie-dyed, and we had the debut of a brand new fucking roster.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. And before I continue, I just wanted to say, Von Wagner fucking sucks. He fucking sucks. Okay, but yeah, that's strange. You know, considering the greatness that those in the black and gold brand gave us for what 5, 6, 7 years. It's kind of strange that they just shipped them off. Some went to other companies, some went to the main roster. But like you said, Kenny, it's kind of strange that they didn't have a one last super show with something just to pay homage to those women.
Like think about it. Back when I guess back when Trips was there, we knew when someone was getting sent off because they had their big match on a takeover.
Yeah.
They had their big match on a takeover. Like they could have did an entire takeover, and every vet fucking lose.
Right. Right, and like because normally, like especially if they were a vet of importance, of high importance, you either have Trips come out. I mean, he did it with Ciampa in the last takeover, but like for other vets, they could have had Trips come out, or they could have had the crowd give a standing ovation, something. To thank them, before the transition was complete. So, yeah, that was strange to me.
Motherfuckers didn't even know Pete Dunne got called up.
Wow.
So Ember Moon, going back to that, lost her tag partner after she got forced to have one. Ended up working out. They make the tag team work. Shotzi gets called up. They're scrambling to find something for her to do. She finally gets a character, a new heel turn type thing. She dyes her hair again. Then they tell her, "Hey, we're not really sure about this yet, but do you want to be a coach? Do some coaching instead? How about coaching?" And that's when I think that's when she decided to quit. They asked her to do all kinds of things.
Right.
And she didn't bat her eyes once, except for like one time, she says. And it involves dressing sexy. They actually had a class where the women were told to dress more like Mandy Rose. Which makes me realize that Kenny probably has a stake in NXT in some way. What I didn't know was Tegan Knox also said something about this. Phil Lindsay of the Grap City podcast.
Does Tegan Knox on Twitter. Question: does Tegan Knox count as a WWE wrestler? Does she count as a WWE? Honestly, can we count her as a WWE wrestler? This girl has spent more time on the sideline than she has in the goddamn ring.
Matches. If you get 10 matches, it counts. So yes.
Uh,
But anyway, Tegan talked about how it felt like they're going back.
That's not true because hold on, because AEW have a motherfucker have a 0-55 record and won't get these bastards a contract.
Oh, well, I mean, we're about to talk about some differences between those companies.
Okay.
And that's the one you got to defend. So don't get too crazy right there. Hold on. But Tegan said that she had heard that they're about to go through a new Divas era.
You using my ammo, Mongo? Don't be throwing my grenades for me.
I'm just talking about the story.
Don't be throwing my grenades for me.
Talking about the story. So this Ember Moon thing kind of feels like it has a bit more levity to it. I believe all of that is true, considering what 2.0 has been doing recently. That makes a lot of sense.
It definitely does. As I sit here and look at that, I'm also looking at the NFL draft board. I didn't realize the Giants had 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know that either. Got 2?
And I'm also slightly happy because I see the Jets had a top 10 pick and they went wide receiver, which means y'all motherfuckers can't afford Depot to steal them from us. Ha ha. Ha ha. So, but listen, Ember. I liked Ember, but you know how I felt about her, especially towards the end of her run. Ember, in my opinion, Ember got really reckless and sloppy, and I didn't enjoy her matches anymore. I personally, even though they sold a lot of merch together, I personally didn't like Ember and Shotzi together because I thought one of them was gonna die. Because both of them are just balls to the walls. I'm gonna just throw my body and myself any and everywhere. Hopefully y'all catch me. Ladies, I'm sorry. We don't need another Mick Foley in this world.
Right.
And look how Mick is paying for that shit. Okay? Every 2 weeks this man is getting a new hip because he sneezes too hard and the shit shatters. Okay? Like we don't need another one. And going back to, like I said, with Tegan, I can't even count Tegan as a WWE performer, dude. I really can't. I personally don't feel like I've seen her in 10 matches on WWE television. And that's including takeovers, war games, shit like that. I feel like I have not seen 10 matches from her.
Okay. What does this have to do with her point, though?
How can you have a point on something if you ain't at work? How can you say your job suck if you ain't at work?
And when she was working, she was boring. A boring ass.
Someone who's about to have to defend AEW, you're making a lot of defenses for WWE. I'm
just saying it's not even defending WWE right now. I'm just saying Tegan really can't say shit because it's like, your ass wasn't at work. How you know what the work atmosphere is like?
She can tell us what the rehab room looked like.
Right.
If I can prove that at least 10 matches, will that be okay? That'd be enough. What's the number? What's the number it has to be?
Yeah, you can. If you can say, yeah, hey, Kenny, look, these 10 were actually on TV and you've seen them, I'll give her the credit of being a wrestler, a WWE performer.
Side note, I straight thought Austin Eckler was Scorpio Sky right there, standing up on stage. I was like, yo, Scorpio Sky at the draft.
But what other wrestling news happened this week we should really get into before we get into our
they really look alike
debate?
Yep.
Oh, I got a question. what do we think about the fact that now we're seeing the Viking Raiders in NXT?
I think they're about to leave.
They are out the door.
It's giving them something to do. At the same time, if they are about to leave, then somebody in NXT is about to come up.
Creed.
Somebody about to Creeds. Someone, because honestly, they really need to just. They really wanted to be badass with this title unification. Make that like a triple threat and combine it and let whoever wins go between all three shows.
The thing that right there needs to happen pretty much with every title except for the mid card title.
Right.
That needs to happen with the main belt, which they did. They at least did that with Roman, but they need to incorporate that shit going around to all three fucking brands. They need to do it with. They definitely need to do with the women's tag team title.
Women's tag team titles need to be consolidated.
They definitely need to do it there. They need to do it. They should do it with the women's title as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, overall, there are, but there aren't a lot of active female superstars on the roster right now.
It's a lot of makeshift teams, and the makeshift teams don't get enough time to establish an identity. So when they put them together, and then they end up winning. You end up basically winning Naomi and Sasha. You're like, oh well, they tied together. Yeah, that's understandable, but they've been separated for years and years on end. I'm not
right. Each of them have had multiple world title reigns by themselves since then.
Like, as much as they want to talk about them being in Team Bad and all that, they have went years without really fooling with each other.
Yeah, that was what, 2015, 2016, basically when Sasha first got called up.
Yeah.
Right. That's when Tamina had both her good knees.
Right.
All right. So yeah, there's not enough women, I think, within WWE that they should have all these different titles. If you unify the women's tag title, unify the women's main title, unify the men's main title, unify the men's tag title, like mid card titles, you can leave because you need a workhorse for each show. And that's what the mid card title is going to be. The mid card title is the person you're going to see weekly.
Right.
That's another thing that people have to stop being spoiled with too when it comes down to being a wrestling fan. We got spoiled with certain wrestlers creating something called open challenges where we got spoiled where we felt the need to see our main champion wrestle weekly. No. Back in the day,
go ahead, Kenny.
I'm saying back in the day, they used to just make you. They had a rule. You had to defend that bitch every 30 days. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, bro.
Normally they defended at either a big show or a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to have Roman defended on a random Friday night or SmackDown or Monday night. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have that. You know, maybe with a babyface champ, but with someone like Roman, oh hell no. You better wait. He's defending that shit on a Saturday or a Sunday night on a pay-per-view.
Right.
In a big match that matters.
So that's why your mid-card champ would be the one to be the workhorse for your show. That's the motherfucker that you can see wrestle every week. That's why there used to be a belt called the television title, because it was the belt that was on television all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I really think that, like Matt said, if they combine those, man, it can be a lot better. It really can be. Too many belts.
Way too many belts.
It was too many.
It's like
this. I don't understand why WWE did the smart thing all the way back in 2001, where if anything, if we could say one thing that happened correctly with the Invasion storyline, when it was time to end at Survivor Series, they had the mid-card champion versus the mid-card champion. They had the women's champion versus the women's champion. They combined those titles.
All of them.
You want the Intercontinental and the WCW WCW US title was combined. The tag titles were combined. Only titles that weren't combined were the world titles. They didn't get combined until the next pay-per-view. And Chris Jericho won, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but he was cool then, but Chris Jericho won. They did everything correctly then. They did have some fuck-ups at one point where they consolidated titles too much because we had RVD as Intercontinental Champion beating Jeff Hardy for the European title. They wrote the European title off. Then they wrote the Hardcore title off. They even wrote the Intercontinental title off at one point. And we only had the US title going around. And then they had to have a battle royal in order to bring it back. Because even they realized that was dumb of us to get rid of our own title. They really need to go back to consolidating. There should only be one world champion, one tag team champion, one women's champion, 2 mid-card champions.
And we've been saying that for the longest. And not to mention, we're open now. Like we're open, okay? Yes, C19 still here, but we're open. So as long as
Reggie just said they've treated Roman and the Universal title as a special attraction. When Lashley had the WWE title, he would be in a random title match on Raw.
And that also has to do with a part of that, Reggie, has to do with the station that owns, which Fox is Fox. It's Fox. Yeah. I'm not downplaying USA, but USA ain't Fox. USA got money, but they don't got Fox money.
Nah.
Okay, like so Fox wants their belt to be the main belt, and that's what the fuck is going on.
But at the same time, like Reggie said, they have made Roman a special attraction. They have, and everything makes sense when it comes to him. He is the head of the table. He is all that other stuff, the tribal chief, all that other good stuff. At the end of the day, he is a businessman. If y'all want me, he's like, I'll show up. He shows up every week. He's either sitting in that office, watching that TV, or he's coming out and cutting a promo. Because he hasn't lost since he returned. And if he does lose, the Usos are taking that pin. It's in a tag match. So, like, he's basically, if you're seeing Roman Reigns, Roman is going to win. More likely than not, or some fuck shit is going to happen. Either way, he's going to come out on top.
Yep.
Right.
Like the Royal Rumble was a perfect example. He beat the shit out of Seth. He came out on top. He might have lost. He lost by DQ, but he won because he beat the shit out of Seth.
Yep.
Lashley, on the other hand, Lashley's character is like, no, I don't come bring it. I don't care. Whoever comes at me, I'm the Almighty. I'll beat your ass. I don't care. I'm gonna come out here, look nice in my suit, but don't let the suit fool you. I'm gonna still take you out.
After I fuck with these hoes real quick.
Oh yeah. We need that Lashley back.
And that's why, and that's what I thought, speaking of combining belts, that's what I thought they were going to do a couple weeks ago with the whole Bianca Sonya bullshit. I'm thinking, okay, maybe Charlotte comes out and we have a unification for the women's division. Nope.
Nice.
And it's like, well, why not?
Because Ronda Rousey is there, which is giving me more ammo for my debate. Giving me more ammo. Got them loaded, boys. Ha, ha. Can't wait to get him out. But it's if you combine those, you're gonna get a lot more fans too, because you're gonna get a lot of different matches, which is gonna open up your fan base. That's the
Yep.
thing. And you're gonna bring attention to all three of your brands because you're gonna have those champions cross branding each other. And you're gonna be each brand is going to be able to be featured because each brand is going to have somebody trying to fight to the top to be the guy to face the main guy. It writes stories within itself.
Hey, WWE, we here at the Under the Ring podcast need some compensation because how long we've been saying this? How long? We've been saying this for a long fucking time now. As far as combining the belts, having one champion in each division, we've been saying this. And it goes back to the original brand split where they did that. Like, it's not hard. And again, we're open now. Like, we're open again. The country is open again, okay? So as long as these men and women can keep themselves safe, you can have your chance bounce around on each show. You can do that.
That's a good question. Mongo, our resident, is that?
System is so before, I don't know if y'all knew this, before they used to have the power ranking.
Yeah.
It was on their website for a while. Didn't really matter. It just was there.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're planning on implementing a ranking system going forward. Possibly not like a major thing. They might do it, might not. It's one of those ideas where they were just like, "Hey, what about this?" And
you don't need a ranking
probably
system.
only gonna be like on the website again. They don't really.
That's because they're sports entertainment.
They only bring those up when it's time for a storyline to bring it up.
Yeah, like their old power rankings used to go up and down, not just on matches, but just on anything.
Right.
You have a good promo that night, boom, go up. Did you get embarrassed, go down, whatever. So I don't. Even if they bring it back, I don't see it being a big deal for any reason.
Yeah, to Kenny's point, that was exactly what I was going to say. It's sports entertainment. They don't look at it as a sport in WWE.
The only time a ranking system has really ever worked in wrestling is when it was TNA. It doesn't work in AEW. Doesn't mean anything in AEW. TNA actually kind of made it worth a damn. But outside of them, it's really never meant anything.
Even then, it was still a little convoluted.
Yeah.
Just because it lasted for so long. But yeah, they had a pretty good idea of how to handle it.
Margo, I just seen what you sent in the chat. Lashley died.
I'll go ahead. So
Lashley died.
Apparently at a WWE event tonight, Bobby Lashley had a pretty rough scare. A rope snaps when he's bouncing off of it with a spear, I guess. And he takes a pretty nasty fall.
Ooh! Yeah. He almost landed on that dome.
Oh!
Yeah.
Courtesy of Rind Satin. There we go.
That was skip that diddly dee.
Somebody gonna get hurt.
Skip that diddly dee.
Who was out there getting the ring together? Because that's on them.
That was a botch. That was not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen.
You'll hear the sound. You'll hear the sound with that.
That was not supposed to happen.
Okay.
It's not supposed to happen.
Well, you had Drew McIntyre's commentary on it.
Right. His little cousin.
That was not supposed to happen.
According to fans on Twitter who were in the in attendance. He seemed to be okay. So that's.
Oh, he's okay, but the person the people that put that ring together aren't.
Somebody getting fired tonight, bitches.
God,
Somebody getting fired tonight, bitches.
So real quick, I want to go over the rebellion card before we do.
Man, fuck that rebellion card. This motherfucker won. Fuck him and his rebellion card. How about that?
Before that, one last piece of news.
Acknowledge me.
Now, rebellion once again, Impact once again can put on a fucking pay-per-view, and we see why. Yo, you know what? Impact is the best out right now. They just don't have the money.
That's it. If they had some cash, that'd be good to go.
All right. At least they smart with their money, yo.
The Inspiration has walked away from Impact.
Walked away from wrestling.
Mutually agreed to split. They're done with wrestling for the time being. They're working with wrestling as a whole.
That was a hell of a loss they took. I'm saying it's just one. People lose on pay-per-views all the time, girls. Y'all ain't got to quit like that. They just was like, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm out. I'm gonna do a rom-com.
Yeah, Cassie Lee said she was gonna do a rom-com, which is interesting. So whatever. I was glad to have him there. I'm kind of sad to see him gone.
Does she have rom-com star appeal?
I can't say whether she does one way or the other because I have opinions on certain rom-com people that I've been told are wrong. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
I mean, I feel like anybody,
maybe as a sidekick.
I didn't expect Batista to be a big blockbuster movie star either. But hey,
listen, bald-headed muscle dudes who are slightly good-looking will always make money in movies. Okay, plain and simple. Let's keep it a buck. All right, Batista's not an ugly dude. He has a bunch of goddamn muscles. That's gonna sell. The hell you think The Rock is still there for?
I feel like at this point, I don't know how old they are. So, but I mean, if they want to take a break from wrestling and focus on other stuff, it's not like it's the 80s and 90s or even the early 2000s where if you just quit wrestling, you're just fucked. Like there's
nothing to do.
Like there's multiple avenues you can go into. A lot of these wrestlers nowadays have side hustles. Alex Shelley is a physical therapist.
I think so.
Old girl that we don't care about no more because she got our boy fired. She does her little bullshit on the side.
She helped the animals.
Yeah, like everybody, and most of these wrestlers have Twitch streams. They even play video games.
Britt Baker's an actual dentist.
And yeah, Britt Baker has an actual dentist office. And she has told people on podcasts, do not come to her office to try and get autographs. Do not, don't be trying to do no weird shit. When she's at the doctor's office, she is a doctor. She is
unfortunately.
Don't be sending no fan mail to her dentist office.
Peyton Royce or Cassie Lee? Cassie Lee is 29. And
she got enough.
Jesse is 32. So yeah, they're young. They're young.
Yeah, they can get away. They can get away with not wrestling for a little bit. And if anything, if they hit it big acting,
I don't think they're not going to hit it big acting, but they're going to hit it big as sidekicks. I'm telling you, they can be his sidekick.
If they can be successful, if anything, this side hustle, them doing this acting, if that gets them any type of attention, hype, anything, that's just going to raise their price up for WWE, Impact, ROH, AEW, whoever wants to get them.
And the only people that can afford them will be WWE. We all know that. Right. At a certain point.
They don't need to be in no huge Hollywood films. They can be on some shit straight to Netflix.
That's most of this junk is now. You ain't got to be in no regular movie. It can just be start out in theaters and be on Netflix. All it takes is for some wrestling fan to be like, "Oh shoot, that's Peyton Royce."
Right, like I had no idea there was a How High 3 until I turned on Netflix the other day. Yeah, you see how all y'all faces look?
Marco's face said.
Exactly. I had no idea, and I was like, wow. I'm good. I
didn't need a 2, let alone 3.
That's like when you start seeing
movie ever.
It's like when you start seeing the substitute
Hey. Treat Williams.
This is a fucking
not Treat Williams. That's the bad part.
The other ones, but hold on, who's the replacement for Treat Williams again? God damn it, he's a bad motherfucker too, isn't it? Who's it? Derringer, I think. Is it?
Yep, Tom Derringer.
Listen, he's a bad motherfucker too, but Treat was the, You
gotta be a badass if your first name is damn Treat.
All right, Margo, let's get into this little nitty gritty of a thing.
Let's go through it real quick. So before the show, Jonathan Gresham was pulled from the show. He was supposed to defend the ROH World Title against Eddie Edwards. He wrestled a show the night before. Prior to that, he had a concussion, and they weren't sure if he was going to be able to wrestle. So the night before he wrestles, the night of the show, he is pulled from the event. And no one knows why. And it could be that maybe he did that match the night before, realized he couldn't do this, and had to back out. Maybe he got pulled by his boss, when no one really knows.
You're not making this easy for me, are you?
I'm just throwing stuff out. So Eddie Edwards faces Chris Bay that night. Beats Bay. Let's see. The Influence beat Inspiration before the Inspiration left the wrestling.
That's how your ass won the belt, right fucking there.
Steve Macklin beat Chris Sabin and Jay White.
I called that one.
Wow.
That was surprising. I was happy with that.
That was actually a good ass match. That was a really good match. I think that might have stole the show for the night. That was
a test for Macklin, I think. And I think he passed.
Definitely.
Okay.
But Tyler Valkyrie defeating Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah, we knew that was happening.
Championship.
The crazy grandma got a belt back.
Yeah, she did. Another championship change hands when Ace Austin beat Trey Miguel and Mike Bailey. AKA
Come on.
Speedball.
Speedball was right there. He was right there, yo. Once I seen him get on a little run towards the very end of the match, I said, shit, he gonna lose.
You got to run just a little bit too early.
Right, his run was like you got to be out the pitch until the very last second.
That'd be the worst feeling in the world during fantasy, because it's like, damn, y'all getting too hyped too early.
It was like, fuck. I seen him I'm like, oh shit. It's like another 30 seconds left in this match. This is too damn long. He about to lose this shit. Sure enough, gosh, Ace killed his ass and fucking like, damn it.
That's how I was looking during that Mysterio's Paul and Miz match at WrestleMania. I was like, okay, the Mysterios are getting too much. I was like, all right. Go ahead, Skull Crusher finale. Yep, there we go. Win.
I think fantasy is like made that too easy for us to recognize at this point. We're gonna tell this is a good fire. Oh shit!
Right. Oh fuck! They're about to lose. Shit. That's exactly what the fuck happened.
Too long. No one gets a Hulk up anymore. That's
right.
Or if it's the end of the show and the person and the Money in the Bank is still active, and you're like, hurry up, copyright credits, hurry up and say copyright 2022. They're like, good night, everybody. Yes.
Right.
5 minutes before the show's over, you win. Like,
and then you hear bronze music.
Never again. Next up was Tomohiro Ishii beating Jonah.
That was surprising.
Yeah, I thought he was going to win that.
Besides his PCO matches, has he won anything?
I don't
He
think
wins
he has.
like matches on TV.
He wins matches that he should win, and then the matches that we really think he should win, he loses.
Yeah, he's
Like,
because he beat PCO.
but he can't beat the Asian
Ishii.
version. But he can't beat the
Ishii?
Asian version
Nope.
of PCO.
The Bulldog. Jesus.
That motherfucker has absolutely no neck. No neck.
That was another good one. Then we have Violent by Design and the 8-team challenge. Jesus Christ.
That was
too much.
Yeah, it was
Too many teams.
Yeah, it was a good match, but it was a lot. It was a lot. It was like,
shout out to y'all, Impact. Y'all got too many tag teams. WWE, y'all need more tag teams.
Look, a 30-minute match between two folks, cool. Between three, it's stretching it, but all right, sure. 8 fucking tag teams, 32 minutes.
here's the thing. All 8 tag teams got a chance to really shine within that time frame too.
Right.
They did.
That's the impressive part. Like, yeah, it was a lot going on, but all 8 teams got a chance to show something. And at the end of the day, Voice Box and the face that Peter Griffin must
Don't
draw.
call the man Voice Box. Come on.
Voice Box.
I like the Jordan.
We are the problem.
Grace and Morrissey's a tag team is hilarious. That is that's some deadly shit. Grace and Morrissey. Speaking of which, Morrissey's going to be on Dynamite.
He's hopefully because MJF about to.
Shout out to Morrissey for getting 2 handfuls of them Chelsea nitties when he did that Powerball. He got 2 handfuls of them nitties, boy. Took it up like that, right through the table, buddy. Shout out to the double grippers. Shout out to all my double grippers out there. If you know if you could double grip, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm proud of all these ex-WWE guys, like the guys that they started out in NXT, old school NXT, got on the main roster, and then they got cut. They got fired for other reasons and all that. Hey, they making it do what it do in these other
Impact.
They making it do what it do. Like Big Cass, William Morrissey, that man had his issues. He got over them. He's in the best shape of his life, and he's making it do what it do out there.
Impact has made us Morrissey fans again.
Yeah. Same reason that they actually made us care about Brian Myers. I never thought I'd ever give
fucking Dick Kick City. Who
Dick
the
Kick City
fuck?
rules.
Brian Myers, Matt Cardona.
Whoa. That's where I draw my line. That's where I draw my fucking line.
It's crazy how you leave WWE and go to Impact and actually get your shine, but they hype up every single person coming to AEW and they're on YouTube.
And fuck you, Matt.
No, I'm not even saying that as part of the debate. It's just like it's mighty funny how they hype up the people that show up on Impact. Don't get no hoopla. They just show up. They literally just show up and they just put they're like, I'm here to work, and they work, and they.
Kiera Hogan. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Right.
Well, at least now.
Now she's getting her.
Excuse me.
But
now she's getting her shine.
Not really.
She's getting a sidekick. She's back in a tag team because you know that's going to be a tag team.
Yeah, but is she really? Because Jade is still the star of that.
Yeah,
for now.
Forever.
I think Kiera and Red Velvet both have time to shine here if they do it right. If they give them time to do it.
Don't be talking about my ladies. Don't be talking about my ladies.
Next up was Tasha Steelz beating Rosemary to retain the championship. I just love Tasha on the top, man. I love Tasha's champ.
Right.
Right.
Shout out.
The belt.
Shout out to Tasha Steelz. Took the ill picture with the UTR boys at that House of Glory event. Real cool, down to earth person. Tasha's mad cool. Hope you enjoyed them stickers and that magnet. But yeah, you damn right I gave us some UTR merch. You goddamn right I did.
Also, for anybody following the NFL draft, breaking news: the Ravens have traded Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals and a 3rd round pick for pick 23. So Hollywood is now in Arizona with Kyler Murray. Shout out to my fantasy team.
Speaking of that, I'm not. Hold on, Margo. It's still weird that the Bengals haven't drafted yet. I'm not used to this. I'm used to them being a top 5, top 10 pick. We're the fucking 31st pick. I ain't used to this. This is weird.
It's gonna be tomorrow by the time y'all pick. It's gonna be Friday by the time they pick.
Dude, past couple of years been fucking me up with being a 49 fan. I'm like, damn, we really gotta wait to pick up somebody? Like shit. Like didn't we lose though? We didn't win it. Why we still gotta wait?
Us Falcons were right on time. Just right early and ready to get this shit over with.
That's what happened earlier. I was sitting up here watching it, and they were still talking. Detroit had made their pick, and they were still talking about their pick. And Houston, it said the pick is in for Houston. I was like, damn, they ain't wasting no time getting their pick in. They like, yeah, get this shit over with. Here's our pick.
We here.
Right, Reggie. This is an odd feeling. I ain't used to this shit.
Final match of the night was Josh Alexander beating Moose to win back the World Championship.
Hopefully, he is still with Impact after tonight.
Well, right now they're still fighting, as Moose and Josh Alexander are doing their rematch for the championship. So,
Impact is on that. They're on that WWF shit. Yeah, you saw this at the pay-per-view. Guess what's going to be on the next night on Monday Night Raw?
right.
Same match.
You're gonna get your rematch now, and you're gonna leave this shit alone after this because we got somebody else coming to the plate.
Right.
All right. You're gonna invoke your rematch now, motherfucker.
Alexander won, so I guess he's staying for the time being.
Right.
Ooh, and is that?
Looks like I need to go back and watch this pay-per-view. I ain't gonna lie, it was 80 degrees last Saturday, and
Mike said, fuck that wrestling. Mike said, fuck that wrestling. What's going on, Tito? Tito joining us from our street team right there, joining us in the comments. Right now, Moose you did a tremendous buckle bomb to Josh Alexander. Moose is out here with just the mustache, looking like a steroid Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, okay.
Kidding.
What?
Steroided Axel Foley.
That's what he's out here looking like right now. That mustache is killing me. That mustache is killing me.
Ooh,
whatever.
Shit.
Oh, looks like we all. You know what's sad? We're on a podcast, fellas. We all can't be quiet trying to watch this goddamn match.
Yeah, don't worry, we're about to set.
My feed is
First
my
off,
feed
real
is
quick,
ahead. So
why is that breaking news? Why? No, I'm not.
There we go.
First of all, I've retained my championship.
Like a bitch.
Nope, I got the match right. Y'all
like
got
a bitch.
Wrong.
And
that is not my fault.
No, we about to get into it right now, Tito. Josh Alexander retains, gentlemen.
There we go.
And
ladies and gentlemen,
Ishii is challenging them.
Becky Lynch made a comment when she was asked about AEW's women's division. She didn't bring it up herself. She was asked this question about how it's comparing to WWE, and she essentially said they're good, but they're not us. We have the best women's division. They're trying to get to number 2. Dustin Rhodes recently said that WWE's women's division got better after some work, and he's hoping for the same for AEW, which means he sounds like he still wants more out of it. And as y'all know, Dustin Rhodes is, I think at this point he's like the head.
He's their Fit family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are here to settle a debate.
Hold on one second, Mike. How fucking far ahead is your recording that you said Ishii is coming out to the challenge Josh Alexander? Because that shit is just.
If he's on YouTube, it's like 5 minutes ahead of live.
I was using another link, and show's over now.
YouTube like starts 30 minutes late, but because the commercials catches up to the point where you're ahead by like 5 minutes to the TV.
Dude, it's 10 o'clock right now, and it's just now ending. Like, what the fuck?
It's gonna be a fun ass match though.
Eagles traded their pick to the Tennessee Titans. That's right. Get my night over with right now.
All right, so it's time for the first ever official UTR debate. In the red corner.
That's right. Keep me in that red.
Wow. The Titans traded AJ Brown to the Eagles.
Florida. On behalf of AEW, it is the Kendango Almas, Sugarback Booger Wolf,
Silverback fucking Booger Wolf here representing the 8th E Dub, you heard?
This is Kenny.
Now, I know this might sound a little strange coming out of me, considering the fact of things that I do say about AEW. This debate is about whether or not AEW has a better roster than WWE. First of all, I will say this. AEW has far better in-ring talent than WWE. Now, let me get to the women's division.
Hold on. I didn't need you to do your whole conversation yet. Hold on.
I said,
the blue corner.
but hold on. But wait, did you like how I said that? They had a great thing. And I said, now let me get to the women's division.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Under the Ring podcast predictions champion.
Fuck that nigga.
Hey, don't be saying fuck me. I already lost my damn wide receiver.
Matty Reigns.
Got excited for half a second.
The only double champion.
Man, fuck that nigga, man.
Matt.
The only
Bischoff.
Intercontinental champion. And the only person to combine both of those titles. That's right. I'm walking around with both of them, just like Roman is. That's why I'm Matty Reigns.
Man, fuck that.
I'm going to miss you, AJ Brown. He just got traded to the Eagles. I'm going to miss you. So I'm going to win this debate for you, bro.
Since Becky cracked this thing open, I'm going to give AW the chance to fire back. So AW has the floor.
Listen, I criticize AEW about a lot of things. The one thing I will not criticize them about is what the actual in-ring talent that the women can do. You actually, with AEW, and because they have the open forbidden door, you actually have a lot more talented wrestling females coming through the door than what you have with WWE. Yes, you might not get the exact same stories, but you get to see matches like how we had last night with Sheeta and Serena D. Those are matches that you get on a regular with AEW. That's something that WWE will not provide you because you'll get a Carmella or a Zelina on your television. Yes, we can put our women on television more. Yeah, I will say that. We can put our women on television more. But because our matches are okay, fuck this. I can't do this, man. These niggas suck. I'm sorry. There is no fucking debate. yo, 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 nah, 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 I'm a still rock out with. Listen, hold on, hold on. Okay, listen, I can't AEW. It's nah. As far as the in-ring talent, AEW does have more of the in-ring talent. You think about it because of the Forbidden Door. You get people like next week we're going to get Deonna Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez. That's a wrestler's match. That's something that wrestling fans want to see. Because of that Forbidden Door, we also got a lot of New Japan and Stardom wrestlers that we never had a chance to even know who the hell they were, which has opened door for us to look at them. And most of them are now signed on AEW as well. You also don't worry with AEW, you're not worried about whether or not the competitor is sexy. You can see now WWE is definitely going back to the old ways, like Ember and Tegan Knox said, of the old diva ways, where it's about looks. And that was apparent last night as well with the Nikki Lyons versus the Lash Legend match. Shout out to HBK. Shout out to HBK.
Hey, hey, we need that match every week.
listen. As a gentleman, of course, you know it is good. It is nice to have eye candy on television. Okay, but that's the thing. You can tell that they're pushing the entire women's division and women's roster in that direction. Look at every single person who is a champion right now.
Yeah.
Look at every single person who is a champion within WWE. It's about looks. It's 100% about looks. Okay? They got Charlotte, the long leggy blonde. You got Bianca, the cute black girl with the fat booty. You got Mandy, the Barbie doll. Out of those three champions, only two can wrestle. And the brand that Mandy is the champion of, it's completely about sex. Completely about sex. Hell, they had two couples having a kiss off in the middle of the goddamn ring, basically fucking. It's completely about sex. Yo, why you killing me with the instigating? So with AEW, you're gonna get quality matches of the females because Like I said, you getting Serena D versus Sheeta. You getting Mercedes Martinez versus Deanna Purrazzo. You get shit like Nyla Rose versus Thunder Rosa. You get Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. You know what I mean? Jamie Hayter versus versus Ruby Soho. You're getting these quality matches out of these women because these women aren't all professional wrestlers. WWE is literally banking on you just being able to get your dick hard. That's what they're banking on. Because let's be realistic. Why is Ronda Rousey there? Ronda Rousey's there because guess what? She's there to get your penis up. Why do they emphasize the fact of Carmella talking about she's the most beautiful woman in the world and her ring gear looks like excuse me, her ring gear looks like lingerie. Get your penis up. Lions. Do I need to say any more besides that? Besides Suplexes, Texas. Come on now. You got HBK. Oh, now you gonna put that up there? Now our views don't represent. Oh, now you want to throw that shit up there? That better be for Mike over there remarks. Okay, but you figure you got these women and they're there because they look good. They look good. Has nothing to do with what they can do in the goddamn ring. Nothing whatsoever. And that's why I say AEW women roster. When Becky said they're not them, you're right. They're not you, Becky. Because there's only about four of y'all can wrestle. I can point out more than half of the female roster on AEW that can wrestle. So they're not y'all. They're better than y'all as far as that. That's all I gotta say. Take it away, old bitch ass motherfucker.
I'm just over here, just like got excited. Ooh, the Titans are picking. That got yanked out. AJ Brown gone.
That's why I had to jump on that debate. That's why I had to jump in there right there. I seen your heart was going. I had to jump in on that. Like, attack.
And then he signed $100 million extension seconds after that.
Oh my God.
He signed for $100 million. The Titans didn't want to pay him. Apparently they didn't want to pay him. So he's rich now. And we got some rookie wide receivers. So we got Tannenhill and DeKang and a bunch of ass.
Fuck. That means I gotta see AJ Brown more. Fuck! Why he come to the NFC?
He's in the NFC East now.
Fuck.
Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
WWE's women's division. Is it better than AEW's?
Yes.
Yes, it is. They have the money. They have everything. But the main thing that puts them over, and if AEW ever has the chance to get this one person, it'll probably put them over the top. And I feel like it could possibly happen because she is going to get bored. She's already like a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 time women's champion at this point. She's basically she's the walking GOAT. It's Charlotte. That is the only, Charlotte is what makes WWE good. It's not Becky. It's not Sasha. Charlotte is the crown jewel of that division.
So you're proving my point that we have. So you're proving my point that we have better females then.
Now, does AEW have better females? They have a lot of females that were in WWE. Either they got fired, or they just ran away. Well, they just said fuck this shit and quit. In Tony Storm's case, she just said bye. Slowly but surely, and even then, they have a WWE guy training them, and Dustin Rhodes.
Nah. Dustin is he's
WCW?
he's a WCW guy. He came in with his daddy, and his daddy was still fighting Ric Flair.
Senator, you've had your time. Senator, had your time.
They have Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, when this is all said and done, I don't know how many damn times she's going to be champion. They're going to have to invent titles to give her at this point. They have 4 women that they have almost done everything in the company. You got Bayley, you got Sasha, you got Charlotte, you got Becky. What's up?
Moderator, am I allowed to ask a question? Moderator, am I allowed to ask a question?
I'll allow it.
Okay. You just said it. You just kind of proved my point by saying that you only have 4 women who have done everything. What else? Since you only have 4 women, how many times can you recycle those matches? That's a big problem that WWE has. You have a bunch of recycled matches. At least the fact that we have so many different women on our roster, we can give our fans different matches with different match-ups.
Yes,
those 4 women have done everything. So what are you going to give us since they have done everything? You refuse to build anyone else up. And when you can build someone up, you decide to go out of the company and bring someone in from a whole different sport. At least if you're talking about we have WWE people, at least we're sticking within our sport to try to make our division better. You had to jump ship and go grab a UFC, somebody that's been in Hollywood.
Hey, y'all picked up
shut the fuck up.
Y'all picked up what's her name?
No, we ain't just picked. No, we got Marina from y'all asses. We got Marina from y'all.
Hey, we fired her because she sucked ass, and y'all picked her up trying to still say she good. No, she sucked.
Sucked ass.
No, she sucked. No, she sucked. She sucks.
Mom,
that girl sucks. That girl sucks.
Y'all had Ember Moon.
She kills people.
And she ain't know what to do with her. She ain't know what the fuck. Y'all ain't know what to do with her.
We did know what to do with her.
Y'all broke up a perfectly good team to put a crazy person in a team with somebody that gets broken by stepping off the curb. Tegan Knox breaks her knees just by waking up in the morning. Reggie.
And most
WWE, even at the end of the day, AEW has more money than WWE.
Right.
Because they still have more money and they still fail to execute their women's division the proper way. As much as they love, they still
we're a new company and we're working out the kinks. And even people who have people who have left have even said we have gotten better since then. We are developing and we are monitoring these bots that keep saying that they.
Y'all gonna be saying
and
that
then y'all had
now.
And then y'all had you had Riho as champion, and that wasn't believable for no one.
What out age treat the one that said y'all got listen. Y'all threw Mickey James shit in a bag in the garbage.
And then we said sorry, and she wrestled in the Rumble.
Y'all said sorry, and y'all had to pay her an ass load of money.
We fired the person
For one
who
match.
did that. We fired
For
that
one
person.
match.
And
For one fucking match.
And
For
we
one fucking match.
And we acknowledged her being the Knockouts champion. We let another company's belt show up on our TV screen.
We have too. We
That's
let a mother
do.
We steal people's belts and bring them to our show.
That's all y'all do is have other people's belts on y'all show.
That's because our shits we put ours out there sometimes. But yeah, you only got 4 hoes that can only do shit. That's it.
No,
and they look better than the 40 hoes y'all got.
And guess what?
Shut the fuck up.
They built that division around those 4, but guess who beat 3 out of those 4? Yeah, she beat 3 out of those 4. Bianca Belair. The chosen one is Bianca. Who's the ever chosen one? Rhea Ripley. We know the match we want to see.
But it's not going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to see that at SummerSlam. Or
it's not gonna happen.
We're gonna
see why it's not gonna happen.
Bianca.
And it ain't gonna be for a belt. It ain't gonna be for a belt. Because you know why?
If it was AEW, it wouldn't be on TV. It'd be on YouTube.
Listen, that's not true. Our world champion's always on television. And we got we got a champion named after a station that don't even want us.
Yeah, y'all got Jade.
What?
Y'all got Jade. Y'all got Britt Baker. Y'all got
Thunder Rosa.
Y'all got
we got
Nyla Rose.
We got Jamie Hayter. We got Chris Statlander. We got Tony Storm. We got Ruby Soho. We got
YouTube.
Right. We got Mercedes Martinez. We got Kiera Hogan. We got Red Velvet.
YouTube. TikTok.
Shut the fuck up, Michael.
Twitter. WhatsApp. MySpace.
But still.
Black Planet. That's where Kiera be at, Black Planet.
Hey, yeah.
All right.
Black Planet.
This was clearly a
Kiera has been reduced to a baddie.
Hey.
Meanwhile, Tasha over here just wrestling and winning titles.
So, from points you have been, I think I gathered that AEW treats them better, probably.
Impact better than both. I'll argue that.
I'll ask that in a second. Looks like you kind of get more time. Like you get like maybe more time to shine. Other side. But would you say that's accurate?
Listen, let's keep it a buck, man. AEW has to give their women more television time.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You have to give their women more television time. Like there was something that they were mentioned where it was, I believe, I don't remember who brought it up, whether it was an article or whether Tito brought it up in a chat where there was a comparison on 1 week of WWE programming. You saw a woman, I think it was like 23 something, so like 23 women within a week on WWE programming, whereas within that same week you only saw 6 AEW women on television programming. Like you can't, like, yeah, I was trying to play devil's advocate because we all know I do have my issues with AEW, probably by saying they might have actual better wrestlers, but if you want us to know that, you got to put them on television. No one is going to watch that 5-hour YouTube show. Okay, no one is really not going to do that. I know. You're sitting there thinking, well, that must not be true because AEW Dark is getting numbers, this and that. Listen, You know how much higher those numbers would be if that was just a replay of something that they showed on television instead of actual it being the actual matchup that we're waiting to see. Like you can get more off of a replay than you can the actual show. You really can. Right, and you can give your fans something more too. Instead of having your fans trapped at a show for 1,500 hours because you want to tape 75 dark matches, add some of those matches to the actual TV programming. Give the people paying the ticket for the live show a little bit of a break. All right, Rampage should not be 55 hours long. On a Friday night, motherfuckers want to go party. After they see wrestling, they see your favorite wrestler get slammed on a Friday night, they want to go drink something. They don't want to stay around for 3,000 hours. Come on, you can't do that. You and then like you got to give your women time. You got to give your women time. What up? What up, big bro? You got to give your women time. Like I stated, WWE does also have a problem with just recycling the same women. They recycle the same women, and unfortunately, it's because they don't have a lot of women. WWE really doesn't have. They really don't have a lot of women, and if they do, they're a majority of their women are in this new class that's about to come up. They went heavy on female talent with this new class in the PC. They went female heavy.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where that aim.
WWE had at least they listened at one point. I don't know if we'll ever get another one, but hell, we had that women's pay-per-view.
Yep.
Damn, where's the love at? That's my own blood right there. That's my own blood right there. Like, yo, I love you, little bro, but the draft overtook my shit. That's all right. That's all right, because as we sitting here doing this podcast, all four of us are watching the draft as we do this podcast right now. So you ain't alone. Don't worry. But
so that kind of just boils down to like a general difference between WWE and AEW, I think. Between how they book, what they do, what they prefer, what they think is most important to go after. If you say that AEW's wrestling overall is better, it's true. If you say that the women get more time in the other company, that is also true.
Right. And that's why Impact has the best women's division of all the promotions, because they find a way to get the women on the television. They find a way to properly rotate the little bit of women that they do have, so they don't get stale. That's the biggest thing right there. That's the biggest thing. You can rotate the same women in and out of a scenario, but you can't leave them to the point where they get stale. Like, you can't have a storyline go on forever, which is something that WWE does. They will have a storyline go on way too fucking long. AEW will have a storyline go on for way too fucking short. It'll be 2 matches. I'm like, that's the whole feud. Oh, okay. Yeah. The whole feud is over this week. You fought on Wednesday and Friday. Okay. Next for you. Like, there has to be a good balance. And I believe Impact is the only place that has that proper balance. They're the only place that has that proper balance. They make the women's division seem just as, if not more sometimes important than the men's division. Like it's definitely equal. Like the knockouts champion literally has the same amount of respect in the locker room as the men's world champion.
Yeah, and it carries a little bit different over there.
And it's pointless to have 50 women if it's 45 of them on YouTube every week. It makes no sense. You're devaluing your own division,
right?
Especially when you have the forbidden door.
You promote that shit. You promote being the forbidden door. Like you have to make sure that as the forbidden door, you let your fans see this door. You had a whole women's tournament with a Japanese side. We had no idea who was on the Japanese side until the fucking semifinals.
Right.
I don't even think we saw the matches.
No, they
None.
were on YouTube. They were all on YouTube.
No, I don't even think they were on YouTube.
No, they weren't on YouTube. They were not on YouTube. They taped all of those matches in like 3 days on something in Japan. We didn't see them shits.
That's
yeah, they did all that.
Not until like the late rounds, and then they show like clips of highlights.
That's bad.
It's like the last 2 rounds.
I ignored that whole part of that tournament. I just gave up on that because one,
I just knew they were on YouTube.
COVID kicked AEW's ass. It killed a lot of stuff that they should have been able to do, and it nipped it in the bud. Yeah, we didn't get blood.
No, hold on. You know what? No, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that because at the end of the day, I'm not taking that excuse because guess what? You still need writers to make these stories. And you still need to be seen. If you can, we couldn't travel over to Japan. Okay, guess what? Japan also has goddamn cameras. They could have taped them shits and sent them over here on a stream. I'm not buying that. WWE had no fucking fans and gave us some great shit during the pandemic.
They thrived during the pandemic. That pandemic era, that bubble Thunderdome era was great.
The Thunderdome era was great.
During the pandemic, the women were the ones carrying the product.
Sasha and Bailey
and
Bailey tore her damn ACL. She carried it so damn much.
Right.
Oscar's doing great stuff. Like it was the most entertaining part of the whole thing.
Becky decided to get her club shot up. That's how great they were doing. She's like, you know what? I'll have a baby. I'll be gone for a year.
Listen, so I don't want to hear that. Like they had enough. They found a spot where they could still perform actually in front of people. Remember, AEW never really had an empty crowd. They never went full empty.
Yeah, they were
never
that believed that C19 didn't exist.
Not even that. Remember, they had their own wrestlers and the wrestlers' families as crowd members.
Yeah.
When shit was shut down, they were never in an empty stadium. WWE was in an empty stadium giving us super content. I can't use the COVID-19 as an excuse. Like you have to still, at the end of the day, you have to have a story. You have to have a story if you want to survive in this business. You have to be able to give us a story. And not everyone is going to sit there and watch every match and know that someone has a professional background of being an amateur wrestler. They won 55 championships over in Japan and a champion in Mexico. Not every wrestling fan is going to know that. But they're going to want to hear whatever drama's coming out your mouth. Why do you think the fucking Miz has survived this goddamn long? That's exactly why the Miz has survived this long. Because let's be realistic. The Miz in ring, average. He's safe. He's not going to do nothing wild where he's going to hurt you. He's not going to hurt himself. You're going to get a good match. And that's it. What puts Miz over the top is his fucking mouth.
AEW's problem, besides just that whole part of that tournament where they just taped it all in one sitting over in Japan and just said, "Well, here's y'all's match. Put it on YouTube." Right.
They put like 2 matches on YouTube for us, and then mini highlights of the other matches.
They really should have never started out. What they should have did is just started out without that women's division, and then slowly bring it along, instead of just being like, "Well, here's our women," because they didn't have anybody that dealt with women's wrestling.
Then on top of that, what they should have done, in my opinion, is they should have waited before they decided to introduce bringing in another promotion. Build your promotion up. Establish yourself. Okay? Off the rip, you're letting us know you can't survive unless you bring in another promotion. Off the rip, you let us know, hey, unless you know New Japan, you won't like us.
Because and this was probably, I don't know, it probably isn't a hot take, but in my opinion, their women's division really wouldn't be as hot as it was if it wasn't for Britt Baker having her Becky Lynch moment where she got busted open.
And here's the other thing too.
What?
If she didn't have her Becky Lynch moment, remember she had that match and she was just completely bloody.
But Matthew, where did Britt Baker come from?
Well, she came from she had a cup of coffee in WWE. Nothing happened. But they presented her when they had that whole big announcement after the New Year, whatever year that was, after New Year, and Chris Jericho was out there with the Young Bucks, and they're like, "Oh, we're AEW," and they're like, "This is Britt Baker. She's gonna be one of the top people in our division." Well, when AEW started, she flopped. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. And until she got busted open in that match, no one cared. It was like, yeah, we know who you, like, we see you, but it was literally like you're shoving her down our throats. And she didn't win the title. And she didn't win the title. And she didn't win the title. It took her accidentally getting busted open, getting all bloodied and all that, for her to finally find her character. For her to finally have her moment.
Her Becky moment, like you said.
Have her Becky moment.
The same thing because the same thing with Becky. Like you meant her Becky. Because Becky was, let's be real, Becky was boring. Becky was the boring.
It
Becky
took
was
an accident to put them over the top, and then they ran with that until they couldn't run with it anymore. And now they finally transitioned to now Britt Baker is not the star of the division, even though they still give her tons of attention. But that's AEW in general. You don't got to be anybody important to have a grand entrance and to have an interview segment with Tony Schiavone. All you got to do is just take a number, like you at the deli. It's my turn. All right, here's your big entrance. Here's your interview segment.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This just popped in my mind. Can we please acknowledge William Regal not acknowledging Excalibur by name?
You're kind of looking at him like, what are you?
He was like, how you doing, Jim Ross? How you doing, Tony Schiavone? Man in the Mask. That's what he calls this thing, is Man in the Mask. Like, that shit is beautiful. And why is it working so well with William Regal and the Blackpool Club? Because they come from WWE training. Supposedly, from what I saw an article that says DB and Mox have been having Yuta actually practice his promos backstage, like running hard promo drills on him the way they would in WWE.
Now, see, I don't blame them. It's paying it forward. If you've been somewhere, if you've been at the creme de la creme of your profession, and you know that you can help these people, go ahead and pay it forward. Go ahead and give them this training. Give them that opportunity to give them these nuggets of information, because some of these people are not going to go to WWE.
Well, here's my thing, but that's my point though. Like, The AEW, yes, the veterans are giving the young ones advice, but you should have someone there that can do that. You should have people there that can write that for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the veterans should be giving them final tidbits on their promos. Like, yo, if you just tweak this just like this, it'll get you over. Not actually doing the promos for these kids because you have no writers.
Right.
Get some writers. And then let the kids practice the shit and then have that veteran go, that's good, kid, but just I would do it just like this. And that'll get the pop you're looking for. Thanks, I appreciate it. Not okay, kid. What do you got? Let me see. No, let's start from the beginning. Not that.
And
That's what a
I feel
writer's
like,
for.
that's what I feel like Dustin is starting to do with the women.
Right.
He's like, all right, this is what you need to do. Do X, Y, and Z. Oh, you want to do that? All right, tweak it. Instead of beating her upside the head, how about you drop kick her? How about Dustin is doing that. Now the men, some people get it, some people don't. I don't know what's going on. Like you said, they need organization. They need organization.
Can't have the inmates run the asylum all the time.
They need structure.
Exactly.
They just need structure. That's all it is. It can't just be, hey, come here, you'll have fun. It's not WWE. Hey. No.
Because eventually
that wears off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as we love wrestling, I don't need to see a technical match every single time. Eventually you're gonna have to need characters to make your show interesting.
And they have slowly realized now, and I know it probably sounds like we're just bashing the shit out of AEW. We like AEW. We watch it. I keep up with it. It's so much wrestling during the week. Wednesday is like the day I don't watch AEW, but I do read the recaps.
Funny enough, out of all the wrestling that's going on, I find Wednesdays my most relaxing day of wrestling because I don't have to think about anything.
Right.
I know I'm just going to sit there and just watch a match. I don't have to think. So I find that my most relaxing day of wrestling, whereas the other days of wrestling, I'm more invested, like like a soap opera. Like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? I need to find out what happened next. I'm more on the edge of my chair like this. The other days with wrestling, the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays, I'm more like. Whereas the Wednesdays, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna get a good match. Let me just sit back and watch. Like, it's like AEW to me is like watching uh two defensive boxers in the ring. Okay, I know what type of match I'm gonna get. It's gonna be okay. This is the type of match I'm gonna get. This is what I'm gonna get. All right. I already know what I'm gonna get. All right.
AEW has enough old school veterans on payroll that there should be no bad promos. Jake Roberts has one of the best minds of all time.
When it's so,
I don't think they don't have that many bad promos in my opinion. It's everything after those promos for the most part.
This is one of the best minds when it's so.
That depends. Back when Brandon was around, that was all terrible.
Sprinkle some crack on.
Dan Lambert has had some bad.
It's probably the promos aren't bad. It's the execution of the promos.
Yeah.
Fit. Sometimes you don't need a promo. Not every person needs to come out and be like, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do." Just beat their ass and walk away.
And AEW, like we've said before, it's okay. Mike just said it. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Characters and gimmicks are okay. They're okay.
They went too crazy with it, and that's why we're seeing a lot of those characters get released now. What was the point of Joey Janela? His character is the bad boy. Gone. gone. We had Orange Cassidy. We had Orange Cassidy get that little push, that little moment with Jericho. What was the reason of that? He's a character. They don't do nothing.
What you
Chris
call
Statlander. She ain't no alien no more. She beat ass.
But I think they're starting to get it with Danhausen.
Yeah.
They're starting to get it with Danhausen.
Mongo popped up on Danhausen.
I knew his punch ass, his bitch ass would pop up on that shit like,
yeah, you
got him. Yeah, they're getting it with Danhausen.
Like Danhausen and Hook is a good dynamic. That's
going to be if you play it off right, that could be the Booker T Goldust scenario.
Booker T Goldust, the Rock and Sock connection.
That could be that.
That can be that. That is funny. Mm-hmm. You have a funny person and a serious person
and an effective person.
And also, we talk about certain companies that way being able to do the whole spooky shit, right? House of Black.
House of Black.
Great. Now we
Death Triangle.
Now we get House of Black and Death Triangle. So
Death Triangle as it's always someone hurt in Death Triangle. They are still.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that trio. I don't understand Death Triangle. I gave up. There's no reason. There's no reason for them to be together. I don't get it. At least House of Black, I get.
I'm sure there was a reason when it first happened.
Yeah. It's just a weird pairing. It looks like a pairing you would put together on 2K.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
Neville.
Sure there was a reason.
It's Pac, Neville, whatever you want to call them, and the Lucha Bros. They do not have anything in common besides they like flying.
Wasn't it something to do with Pac wanting Omega and the Lucha Bros wanting the Young Bucks?
Maybe. Yeah, they just had like a union there, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it had to do. But yeah, the Death Triangle is a faction that is unnecessary because separately you can have that tag team and that single star rule, but you refuse to do that. House of Black, I'm just disappointed that nothing has come out of. Alistair beat the quote-unquote man of the company in Cody, and nothing has come of it since.
Because he lost a win back. He lost it back to Cody. Didn't Cody beat him?
Yeah. That's why I always say, like, what are the people who have jumped ship done, except for a minute few? And now we're going to get CM Punk as champion.
We might.
Possibly.
We might.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. That's a definite.
Punk versus Page is really, I wouldn't be shocked if Punk won, and I would not be shocked if Adam Page won.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's like...
Listen, it's going to be CM Punk because the money match is going to be Punk and Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Or the only way I see Punk winning, Punk wins. He does his little bullshit that he does. He might defend it for a little bit, and then they're gonna revisit a feud that just ended. MJF is gonna beat Punk for that title.
Oh no! Listen, I never said that Punk wasn't gonna beat Omega. I don't
think Omega is coming back because every time we turn around, he's getting something worked on. By the time he does show up, he's going to just be a head on a robot body.
Listen, Punk is going to
go back until like late summer, honestly.
And that's where we're going to get that match.
Omega.
If something is torn again.
And then it's going to be Punk versus MJF for that title. Punk is going to beat Omega, which is going to finally give him the quote-unquote best in the world for real status.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is...
And then MJF takes that shit, wins the title, rides out the rest of his contract, and then comes to NXT.
All I
think,
know
I think
is
MJF beats
in
Hangman.
the year 2022, if we do not have an actual second fucking Dynamite Diamond Ring winner, they just need to get rid of it. If we have another one of those this year, MJF does not need to win it.
Yeah,
Make
he's
that
already
ring
lost.
mean something.
It meant something when he was undefeated, and he did it like twice, and it was this whole because like you just couldn't beat him. But he's lost a handful of times lately. Kinda, we can go ahead and swap that on over.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think we actually came to a conclusion on the debate. Honestly, it's just something that if you've watched this before, we're already pretty meh on both divisions as a whole.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They have their moments.
Converted to Impact Wrestling. But they're getting better. I think AEW is just getting better. They're focusing a lot more on it. They need to do more, but they're doing more than they used to. Like it's better than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, way better.
I think WWE is getting worse, but that's where different.
That's what happens when you bring Ronda
back. This shuts off all the fucking stories. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this week. Next week is predictions, correct?
Yep,
that is correct.
It's the last backlash. The last week of the off season.
Listen, what's gonna happen is Kenny's gonna finally get his fucking belt back. Everything's gonna be right in the world. Listen, I know that motherfucker ain't walking back out here with this shit. I know that much.
Acknowledge me.
Matt's about to have like the longest reign with this thing and lead you into a winning fan.
Nope. That belongs to me and Mike. That belongs to
Hey. The fantasy win belongs to you and Mike?
No, the longest reign. Bitch, we had a whole reign while you was asleep.
It doesn't count clearly. So
oh shit.
Oh yes it does.
Asterisk next to it. It doesn't count.
Bro, the belts were at our houses, so they were with us. We were champions.
Can't believe y'all trying to screw over a crippled person. I can't believe y'all doing that to me right now. On air.
Hey, it's a prediction title. Hey, shit. Hey. Sorry.
What? I'm supposed to treat you different because you're different? No.
Damn. That's me and Kenny when we're talking about someone else. That's how we feel.
I'm supposed to treat you different because you're different? No. I'm treat you the same as everybody else.
We all about equality, Mongo.
Don't forget to follow us, ladies and gentlemen, at twitch.tv/undertheringpod. Don't forget to follow us on facebook.com/underthering. Don't forget to follow us every single platform that you are able to have podcasts on, whether that be Spotify, whether that be iTunes, whether that be your grandmother's old radio in the kitchen. However you can get a podcast and you listen to it, find us, listen to us. Follow us also on Twitters on our individual pages. I like to post a lot of pictures from different wrestling events that I go to. So I am, I guess, the official photographer of the Under the Ring podcast as well. So follow me, Rock Ribs 44 on Twitter. Don't forget to follow my boy who always has the topics of the day to talk about, Mr. Fresh Beard. That'll be Mike Jones. Don't forget my man right here who will not only give you the wrestling scoop, also give you the best scoop on the best beer locally within the Kentucky area. My boy, the right answer.
Oh yeah, you gonna get some good beer. You gonna see some good beer with me.
Now, if you want to look at, you want to know about any type of wrestling news that happens up to the minute, and if you want to look at some extra freaky shit that you can't see at work, follow, follow my boy Greg Bush.
I mean,
we got. Don't forget also our boy. Go ahead, Matt. You already know what to say.
Maliante.
Our fucking street team out there putting in work all the time. Anytime you see something around the NYC area, that says UTR under the ring, you can guarantee our boy Tito has either distributed to that person so they can use it how they please, or is let you know that we are here in the building. Don't forget to follow our other boy who does an amazing job of covering the local news around the Macon, Georgian area, and he's also a local sports writer too. Don't forget to follow our boy Justin D. Baxley. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here every week. Matt is still a dubbies.
I'm still the champ.
Matt is still dubbies. Don't forget.
Still the champ.
We're going to be here. It looks like Thursdays will now be our days because it's a day where we can all get together and we're not all too tired. Because I don't know if you noticed, I'm not the only motherfucker getting old on this goddamn podcast anymore. These bastards is growing up too, so they get tired too. All right.
Hey, I've already worked 42 hours a week, so yes, I am tired.
All right.
I got like 10 years older in like 2 months.
So don't forget to follow us every Thursday around 8:30ish. Thank you. Follow us everywhere that you possibly can. We'll see you next week.